This is a screencast for plotting inequalities. After watching this screencast, you should be able to plot an inequality on a number line. Let's do a quick review of the symbols. Specifically, I want to look at the special cases of less than versus less than or equal to. In this case, 5 is not less than 5 because 5 is equal to 5. So 5 is less than 5 is false. However, when we change the symbol to less than or equal to, 5 is less than or equal to 5. So that's why this statement is true. And you'll see something similar with our greater than symbol. 5 is greater than 5 is false because 5 is equal to 5. But when we are looking at the symbol greater than or equal to, 5 is greater than or equal to 5, and that would be a true statement. So something to keep in mind as we start to look to graph. So, what does it look like to plot a less than graph versus a less than or equal to graph? A strategy that we have to graph for a less than, x is less than 3, the first thing that I would recommend is circling the important value, or in this case, circling the 3. Now, we are looking for numbers strictly less than 3, so we would be looking for numbers like 2, 1, 0, and so on. So we would draw or shade an arrow on the left-hand side of our number line. As we compare that to less than or equal to, or x is less than or equal to 3, we're going to start off the same way, where we're going to circle our 3. But because x could be equal to 3, I am going to fill in that circle. That's saying that this value is precisely at 3. Whereas in our less than graph, what we were saying was that x is going to come really close to 3, but not hit it entirely. So less than or equal to is going to have a solid or filled in circle. And we're still looking for values that are less than 3, so our graph will still be shaded to the left. So that is the comparison between a less than graph and a less than or equal to graph. Let's take a look at greater than versus greater than or equal to. So again, we're looking at x is greater than 1 versus x is greater than or equal to 1. So I'll start off by circling my important value of 1. But I'm not saying that 1 is going to be a true statement. 1 is not greater than 1, but numbers close to that will be. So I'm going to leave that circle open, not filled in. And we're looking for numbers bigger than 1, so that would be numbers like 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that's what my graph looks like for x is greater than 1. To compare that with greater than or equal to, x is greater than or equal to 1, I'm still going to circle my important value. But this time I do want to include 1 as a true statement. 1 is greater than or equal to 1, so I'm going to fill in that circle. And again, we're looking at numbers that are greater than 1, so that would be numbers like 2, 3, 4, 5, and we'll shade to the right. So that is our comparison for greater than versus greater than or equal to. So hopefully through this screencast, you can now plot an inequality on a number line.